So I got a set of rollers. But why? Well, we'll get to that in a minute. First things first, we got to set this thing up right and take it for a spin. Some of you may already know, but what you're going to want to do is set the front barrel of the rollers just in front of the front axle of your bike. This will do. Now, one of the best ways to start learning rollers is to actually put it in a doorway. We'll get to that in a moment. But you want to make sure that the rollers are actually sitting level. So shim the legs if you have to. Now here's why I'm setting up in a doorway. I can lean to the side and get myself set up. And if I ever am falling to either side, I can just push my shoulder into it or use a hand if I have to. Now this is my first time actually ever riding rollers. Steering is quite a bit different than actually riding on the road. But I learned a trick very quickly. Look up. Once I started looking up, this made all the difference in the world to me. It may seem strange not looking down at the rollers where your wheels actually are, and looking forward at stationary ground. But once I did this, I was able to hold much more control of the bike, and I was much more confident. Now I'm glad I'm in this doorway, because slowing down and stopping, well, that's a different story. That's a whole nother thing to get used to. Well, I have to say that was a pretty good first run. And I think my mountain biking skills and other slow speed technical skills has helped a lot. But now it's time to step it up. Let's try starting it without leaning into the doorway. What I found works for me is to pedal around at least once with one leg just to get the wheels going, and then bring the other foot on, just like that. When you're comfortable, try moving away from the doorway. Move so you just have one wall next to you. Just be careful if you try standing. I'm very used to throwing the bike back underneath me in order to sit back down. Now, that doesn't really work on rollers and can throw you off if you're not careful. So, why did I even get rollers? I mean, I have a perfectly good magnetic trainer as it is. I guess this will come down to personal preference. What I like so far about the rollers and what I've wanted to get out of it is that if I'm going to do an indoor session, it'd be nice to have just a little bit more to it. So this way it's not just mindless and trying to pedal as hard as you can. Having that little extra challenge of steering just makes it that much more fun and that much more interesting to actually do a training session inside. I don't think rollers are something really to be afraid of. I picked it up pretty quickly, and I think you can too. But whichever you choose to ride, keep at it. Indoor trainers can improve your pedaling style and overall fitness when going outside is simply not an option.